because I have too much to do right now, I'm going to do a very quick and haphazard garden tour. Blueberries and black currants out of dormancy, starting to bud up. Some things are awake, some things are very dead. This grape is awake, the rhubarb's awake, a bunch of the perennials. Broad beans are doing good. Leeks and onions and garlics are good. The tomatoes I planted are very dead because it was -1 last night or -1 2 nights ago and 0 last night. There is definitely weeds in here that I need to address later and things that are starting. Parsnips from last year that I forgot to harvest. This kale bed is probably looking the best it has ever looked. And for the first time, I've actually spaced things out in a reasonable amount. I normally just throw a bunch of seeds in and hope for the best. But yeah, so this actually is looking very happy. And I'm hoping we get harvests on this until next year. And this is just the dedicated kale bed with the insect netting. This is my Brussels sprouts. One of them is sad and I'll have to replace, but the rest are doing pretty okay. This first row here is red ball. So they're a little compact red Brussels sprout. This is a thing of carrots that haven't germinated yet. Also a thing of carrots that haven't germinated yet. Carrots in between the leeks in here have started to germinate. So this is a baby carrot. Oops, sorry. This is a baby carrot, and this is grass that needs to get out. But yeah, so baby carrots. I let the kids plant sunflowers, so there are sunflowers in all the beds. Cabbages doing okay. Cabbages doing okay. These are hostas, and so when they get a little bit bigger, you can harvest them. Just cut them off. If you pull them, you'll uproot them. But when they get taller, you can harvest them as little asparaguses, or you can let them grow on, and they're beautiful. People normally grow them as an ornamental, so I planted them last year, did not eat them last year, and let them spend a whole season in here. So that they could get it together. This is some spinach I transplanted that's getting attacked by the birds, some volunteer brassicas, because I let my brassicas go to seed, and then I get them all over the place. The pear that is waking up, we might have a lot of pears this year, which will be awesome because the kids love them, and they just come out and harvest them and eat them on their own. We might have enough that I can actually preserve some this year, so that would be cool. More brassicas. These are broccoli. And yeah, garlic chaos. I planted salad and peas in there, and then they just died. More grass. Always. My potatoes are doing okay. I just watered everything. There's volunteers. I'm pretty sure that those are going to be I just forgot borage. So that those are probably volunteer borage, because a lot of these containers were in the greenhouse before and had a borage plant that set seed. But you can see we have little potatoes coming up, little potatoes coming up. I sowed seed in here. Nothing has germinated yet. We'll see what happens. That bed is dormant, waiting for me to have warm enough weather for it to have peppers in it. I think that's going to be a pepper bed. There is something in the bush. I don't know what, but that's okay. These are radishes that went to seed last year, and I just buried them and put soil on top. And then these are the sunflowers that the kids planted and gave them a mix of sunflowers, so you can see the hole. So I gave them a mix of sunflowers and then told them, put them wherever you want. So we have sunflowers popping up all over in random places because those are kids. Last year's carrots that I forgot to harvest, and I'm just whatever letting them rot down, feed the soil. This is a kale that has seen better days because I did not harden it off. I just shoved it in to give it a place. More kid sunflowers. Eventually there will be squash amidst these because I planted squash seeds and I'm just waiting for them to decide it's time to germinate. If they don't, I will reseed in like another couple weeks and it will be okay. More potatoes. I should have watered that one a little bit better, but that's okay. This was radishes. They keep getting attacked by the birds. It's okay. The rhubarb, which is from that rhubarb, it sent up a flower stalk and I took the seeds, put them in there, and now we have rhubarb. Yeah. This is the tea garden that still has some vegetables in it. So parsnips from last year, a Brussels sprout that never did anything. I'm just letting it set flower for the bees because they could use it. There's some weeds in here I need to take care of. A random garlic, a random onion. So I'm just letting them bulb up and then I'll remove them. And I've sowed a bunch of different basil seeds in here. We'll see if any of them get it together. Something dug around in here and threw everything around, so there will be no organization. I labeled them all thinking that would be helpful, and then things got weird. Lavender, mint. I think I sowed chamomile in here too, but I don't remember because that feels correct. And then this is wild chamomile that I transplanted from the driveway because that makes sense. Driveway chamomile is not delicious, but it gives you free plants. This mint escaped the path and eventually will overtake everything, but then it will smell very nice when we walk around, so I'm okay with that. Chickens. The little bed by the chickens, I have let go feral. So I'm just like, whatever. I threw some sunflower seeds in here too. So if they come up, that'll be cool. There's some chives and garlic, but this is ground elder, has just invaded everything. And I put some pansies in there, but the ground elder just takes over everything. And that is, oh, I forgot what they're called. They're peonies. I need coffee. Tulip. Chickens. Making it weird. I tore down all of that. This is a perennial herb bed, and then I threw some salad greens in there. And again, the ground elder just invades all of these things. So that is my oregano bed now, which used to be over there, and I moved it over here, and the ground elder also grew up and into that because it was already in there. But my hope is that the oregano and the ground elder will fight and they can take it out, and I just will try to weed this as much as possible, but I haven't done it yet today. The greenhouse is doing all right. We had some mice that were stealing things, but my grapes are happy, my chives are happy. My thyme is getting it back together. Put some sage in here. Tomatoes have seen better days. Those tomatoes will go out eventually, but not yet because everything's freezing. But they've been in here with all those low temperatures, so these ones are much more acclimatized than the ones that were in the house, which is the ones I planted out. This was a leek that flowered last year, and I just buried it, and now out of the seed head is coming up all these leeks. So eventually I'll probably pull these out and transplant them out somewhere in the garden so they can grow, or we'll harvest them as microgreens and throw them into salads. Same thing, this is some basil from last year. So, yay, basil. I don't know what's happening over there. Garlic, chives, and chives. These are my peppers and some beets and okra, which is awesome. We'll see if it actually happens this year. This was a salad bed, and it had like Napa cabbage, and the mice came and they ate all of it. So I keep reseeding and resowing. So I like pop some broccoli in. There's tomatoes. So it's been safe enough for tomatoes in the greenhouse, but not outside. So those are all the outside ones died. Artichoke. Volunteer mystery brassica, probably a kale of some kind. Yeah, mystery things. I think this is dill, and then some parsley. I threw a bunch of seeds in here multiple times, and like they kept getting eaten by the mice. And yeah, and then those are long beans. So we'll have long beans in here, and they all just are germinating on their own, slowly but surely. Hopefully we'll get them all the way across here. And then I also sowed some melons in here, and we'll see when they pop up. Yeah. And then beets, I think a spinach, but also probably just beets. So yeah, random plants that were rescued, volunteers from other things. So we've got more mystery kales. This one's really pretty. And then borage. So I'm pretty sure all the stuff that was in the potato containers are borage. So we have at least 3 borage plants in here, and they will just explode. And they have flowers that taste like cucumber and leaves that taste like cucumber, and you can eat them, but they are kind of prickly and fuzzy, and so they become chicken snacks most of the time because I have enough food that I actually want to eat. So I'm not going to eat the borage. Yeah, red currants coming out of dormancy, raspberries, more raspberries. I had this raspberry and that raspberry, and it became all of the raspberries because they like to send out runners. And so, yeah, this I put in pavers so that the kids can walk through and harvest raspberries. And then this is the strawberry bed. So again, pavers so the kids can walk through and harvest strawberries. And I planted a tomato and it died. So I'll put another tomato there for the kids so they can have strawberries and tomatoes in this bed. And then there's just dandelions and some ground elder, because of course. And then I actually harvest the dandelion buds sometimes and make capers out of them. Or I'll give these to the chickens as snacks. So, yeah. These beds are weird, and trying to make it easier for my boyfriend to maintain the yard. And, yeah, you know. It's fine. It's normal. And I forgot about these beds. So this one, there was a tomato. It died. There's 2 broccoli that are kind of sad. Little smoltron. And then this is going to be a salad bed. I seeded a bunch of different lettuces in here, and I'm just waiting for them to come up. So, yeah. That's the garden. This is a mess. I will deal with it. My watering system that I put in last year, it exploded in the freezes. So now I know for next year, if I want to try to have rainwater for the summer, I need to disconnect this and store them for winter because they did not survive. Yeah. So that's it for me. All right. I'm going to show you what's happening inside the house because, yeah. Peppers and tomatoes and eggplants and tomatoes and a pepper that was overwintered and is ripening in the house, which is pretty cool. And that one's ripening too, which is pretty cool. We've got 2 peppers going red. They're not huge, but they're really tasty. And I harvested a green one from here and made dinner with it for the kids last week. But yeah, so this is kind of awesome. This has a whole bunch of buds coming on and a ripe pepper. So that's excellent. I will take that. Yeah, I clearly messed up and did not start my tomatoes at the right time, that they are this tall, and I can't plant them out. They have seen better days, but they will be okay once I actually get them into the ground. And they are very thirsty, so I'm going to give them more water because they are very thirsty. And I'm probably going to need to raise the height on that light again. So, yeah, that's where we're at. It's fine. It's fine. There are worse things to happen than overdeveloped plants. It's fine. It'll give us food. Might not be as productive, but it'll give us food. Thanks for watching.